Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today for Monday morning, April 19th, 2021. The man they call Meathead, joined by the lovely Linda K. Good morning, Linda. How are you?
Good morning, Meathead. I'm still basking in the post-WrestleMania glow.
Oh, so you're just kind of laying in it. You're just kind of absorbing it, soaking it in.
Yes, soaking in that post-WrestleMania glow. Speaking of, where's Keith Lee? Basking glow? No? Oh,
Basking
sorry,
in
sorry,
glory.
sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Keith Lee's somewhere. I don't know if he got hurt or if he's just, got left out on the beach. I really don't know. We need Keith Lee back.
Yes.
It's funny that you say basking in the glow because it was only, 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago that, after WrestleMania happened in April, and I had somebody visiting down in, the Florida area. We got remember that post Easter snowfall, 2 feet in
Yes.
the city of Milwaukee in the state of Wisconsin. So
Yes.
you came home to good weather. We're, 50s, 60s up here now. So
Yes, I will take it.
I will take it as well. Speaking of taking, let's take a chance to introduce and thank our sponsors, collarandelbowbrand.com. They have got the latest in street fashion, and the promo code now, Linda, is Linda K, K-A-Y, correct?
Yes, sir. Linda K. Save
That's going
your
to save,
10%.
going to say 10%, yeah. Tell us, Linda K, with that promo code, what's got your eye? What do we got going on at Collar and Elbow Brand?
Well, I just got a hold of the dream team. Everybody loves the dream team from the Olympics when
92, Jordan,
92
Magic,
Barcelona.
Carmelo.
Yes, that was the best team ever assembled. We've got a
Christian
collar and elbow
Leitner.
team. Yes, yes, where Isaiah Thomas is left off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole controversy. I remember all that. So that's one of my favorite T-shirts I have right now, and there's tons of other styles. We've got the sales going on still, so make sure to check it out. That one's my current favorite one right now, just because I'm a big sports fan, as you know, and when I saw that one, I'm like, I gotta have it. It comes in a T-shirt or a sweatshirt, just so you know.
Nice. Well, if we're thinking about the coming months, we got to get that definitely in a T-shirt. And then, when you get it home, you pull out the scissors and you customize it up whatever way you got to customize it up. So, collarandelbowbrand.com, 10% off with Linda K, K-A-Y. So, let us talk about a little bit of news here. Over the weekend, we had a pay-per-view fight on Saturday night. It was, and here's a dumb meathead moment of the week. I'm dead from the neck up, right? I assumed, just like Matthew went along with, and he probably was just being nice to me and didn't correct me. I assumed Logan Paul was the one having the boxing match this last weekend, not Jake Paul. And I said, wow, Logan Paul, they're letting him take bumps in a ring a week before a fight? That's kind of wild. Meathead, you big dummy. It was Jake Paul on pay-per-view in the main event taking on what was it, Ben Askren, and Jake Paul with a decisive victory over Ben Askren. Did you catch any of it? Did you see the knockout? Did you see any of that?
Yes, I did catch that knockout, and obviously Ben Askren being a hometown boy here in Wisconsin and very local to Milwaukee as well,
Of course.
was really hoping and really believing that he would have overcome Jake Paul. But then again, even though Askren has that strong wrestling grappling background, obviously decorated UFC fighter, I guess once you step into the boxing ring and boxing rules, it changes a lot of what you know and what
Hands
you're
only,
doing.
no feet.
Yeah. So, yeah, first round knockout. Fell and couldn't even really stand, and they called the match. And I was just like, well, okay. I don't know. I don't know the logistics if that was a shoot or kayfabe, if you
Don't
will.
know.
But
We have to take boxing on the up and up. So
yeah. No, as a whole, though, the whole Triller stuff. It's definitely just kind of like Derek compared how WWE is just trying to reach the masses. It's becoming more of a mainstream event where you've got celebrity judges, you got Snoop Dogg on there, you've got Ric Flair appearing on there.
yeah,
You've
Ric
got
Flair, woo, the nature boy.
Yes, you've got musical artists, and you've got names that the mass audience and pop culture names know. And when we were talking about it off air, that Frank Mir made his debut
Right.
with him as well at
Legendary
that fight. Yeah.
MMA fighter.
So I think all in all, it's cool. It seems really fun, and it's generating interest, revenue, and but yeah, I was really hoping that our hometown boy Ashton could have came through that win. And also, Meathead, don't feel like such a dum dum. I thought it was going to be Logan Paul too.
Like I said, I can't be the only one, but I mean, I'm the man they call Meathead. I can't be dead from the neck up. I got to have something. In Milwaukee is a really old school. Now, we don't need to go down this whole path and kind of sell the city of Milwaukee on MMA, but I mean, you want to talk about having a history before UFC really blew up, before UFC pay-per-view #1. I mean, we had the family of the Rufus family. I mean, really, they're kind of legendary here in the city of Milwaukee, and all these other camps that are up, BJJ and all that other good stuff that's all happening around the city. So even CM Punk, when he was training for his fights, trained in the Milwaukee area as well. So
absolutely, and Linda Kay right here is partaking in
right
little BJJ, a little Muay Thai, a little kickboxing as well.
Yeah, you practice your Muay Thai, you might be as good as the guy in the A team. He goes, "Yeah, my Muay Thai, or Muay Thai." What does he say at the end there? And I think it's like Hannibal Lecter tells him, "Yeah, your Muay Thai sucks as bad as your jiu-jitsu."
Well, so you got to work on both.
You got to work on both. But yeah, it's nice to see. And Mike Tyson had mentioned as well over the last couple of weeks. He says, if it wasn't for guys like the Paul twins and other the hip hop and celebrities that have been kind of hanging around boxing would be dead. Boxing has seen a resurgence of sorts. Matter of fact, I believe this summer Conor McGregor is going to be getting back in there. So UFC, boxing, all of that is coming back around again. So it's funny, the wrestling business and the boxing and MMA world coming back together again. So
absolutely,
let's talk about Smackdown from Friday night. Basking, as you kind of said, and living in the glow, the afterglow, and kind of laying in it of what happened from WrestleMania. This was the Smackdown after. Now, we've been conditioned, I'd say the last 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, that the first show after WrestleMania is always going to have this big surprise or this big something. I mean, this is where you see NXT call-ups, debut for the first time. I mean, that's kind of how we got, Finn Balor to call up. We kind of got Robert Roode got pulled up, different guys like that.
when Paige became the Divas champion.
Right. There's a whole movie about that called Fighting with the Family, where Rock goes and talks to her. Again, that might be embellished, that part there. But, Paige is told that, hey, it's WrestleMania. I want you to watch this. And tomorrow night, you're going to debut on Raw, win the women's championship. So we got none of that. SmackDown, if I'm not mistaken, had none of it. Nothing against the show. The show was fine. We're going to run down the show here real quick. First starts off with the head of the table, the tribal chief, letting us all know that he is the man. And somebody that has not really stepped up to Cesaro, I blew it there, stepped up to Roman Reigns before is Cesaro. The King of Swing may be heading towards the main event.
Yeah, that was a bit surprising. I really was expecting Edge or Daniel Bryan to come back and possibly challenge Roman again, this time that one-on-one match. I mean, we talked about the possibilities of Roman and Edge getting that one-on-one match at the WrestleMania Payback, right? WrestleMania Payback?
I think it's WrestleMania Backlash.
Backlash, thank you. Payback is before it, or whatnot. Okay, so I was expecting maybe Edge or Daniel Bryan, but instead we didn't get either of them. But we got Cesaro. Okay. I mean, obviously, we've been talking about the push that Cesaro has been having past couple months. It was great for him to get that. He
might be breaking through that glass ceiling for himself. Finally, This is the time.
Yeah, and he got that huge victory against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, which we were reminded numerous times during SmackDown about the UFO spin.
Yeah, that thing got at least 3 to 4 segments.
I would say more than that. But yeah. Hey, that's great. We got to highlight who would be a possible, next #1 contender for the title. So that was cool to see him come out. Although, Roman, Jay, and Paul walking on the ring. Okay. I liked that little bit, that touch right there. Like them basically saying to Cesaro, "Oh yeah, you're not even a worthy contender. We're not even gonna bother talking to you." But as you know, there was some more shenanigans to ensue between.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. With Cesaro, is this the build? Do they build him up, and does he keep winning against whoever? Does he keep getting bigger and stronger against whoever and finally make it to Roman? I don't think it's at WrestleMania, Backlash, but does this work its way all the way to SummerSlam, or is it the pay-per-view after? Maybe, Money in the Bank or something like that. Who's to say? I just got done saying that there was no real big surprise. And the reason I said that is because the only true new debut on SmackDown was kind of spoiled to us the day before and the day of. The color commentator has changed. It's not Corey Graves anymore. Corey Graves is over on Raw now. And the new color commentator on the SmackDown brand is the punter of the decade, Pat McAfee. Pat was wearing pants today. Linda, when we were watching the show, I don't know if you guys know the story where he pulled a meathead. Linda, I don't think Dave was doing the show yet with us. I think it might have been Damian, myself, and possibly Carl Love. I don't remember. It might have been Jason Welcher as well. But we were doing a run of shows at Spirits, on Milwaukee, in the middle of all the streets that start with the letter M. And we were taping, I think it was Tuesdays at 6. Right, so we went to Spirits, but the man they call Meathead during the summer plays golf, or at least he used to. So had to get in 18. So I literally, my friends used to joke with me and called me public access Meathead because the top half of me was TV ready, the bottom half probably jorts and sandals, Tevas, right? So. That's what Pat McAfee had going on the first time he ever showed up on WWE TV. Ironic, though, because Pat had pants on this time. Your thoughts overall in the entire show of Pat McAfee's work?
You know what? I like him. I even said to you once we found out the news of Pat McAfee joining on that I felt that him and Michael Cole would have some great chemistry because they can go back and forth, good bantering, and he would just fill that void of Corey Graves leaning more toward that heel commentator. So we got
Corey Graves needs a little more bass in his voice. I'm not Corey Graves. I'm sorry, Pat McAfee.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see what you mean with that. I think he came off a little quiet at first, or maybe it's just a mix of the piped in audio for the Thunderdome, but maybe he got that alert in his ear, like speak up, because then it did progressively get louder and get better. But I do feel that they are a great team. I know it was only one episode, but I there's always some kinks to work out. But I definitely feel just with his experience being on the mic so much already and just already being involved with WWE and NXT that he'll be a great addition, and him and Michael Cole together will just get better and better.
I think so too. And Michael Cole, you go back and see some of the old stuff, and you watch the Annie biography, which we'll talk about tomorrow, and you see Austin chasing around Michael Cole way back in the Attitude Era. Michael Cole's been around the company for 25, 30 years now. He was a broadcast journalist with CBS. He helped cover the Gulf War. Michael Cole has been wrestling. And Michael Cole's also on the booking committee as well. And Michael Cole will help Pat McAfee, and he will guide him into being a broadcast journalist. So really excited to see how this goes. Like I said, I believe Pat McAfee needs to put a little bass in his voice. Here's the irony of it, though. That Thursday morning or that Friday morning when Michael Cole joined the Pat McAfee show for the brand, he asked him up in front, and I'm going to repeat it verbatim, so I apologize for the language. He goes, "What's going to happen when I eventually fuck this up?" That's literally what Pat said. So, we'll have to see. I mean, Pat's a realist. Pat's aware that his style could rub somebody the wrong way somewhere, somehow. So, what's going to happen when he messes it up, right? Who knows? I'm along for the ride. I'm ready.
Me too.
Otis and Rey Mysterio in a singles match. Rey Mysterio gets the win over Otis. Now that Tucker is officially gone and Otis is in the company on his own, where do we go from here with Otis? Otis was lovable. Otis was yeah. And now Otis is just kind of hanging out with Chad Gable.
Yeah. I mean, he was also, a stunt muffin in Mandy Rose's eyes. I liked
Right.
that too. And
Huge
that
story
was
last
taken
year.
away. Yeah, absolutely. I think that he needs more of a speaking role again, because right now I mean, sure, he's in the Alpha Academy, but you still have Chad Gable pretty much doing the talking. And I think I like Otis much better as a face, so I think that Chad Gable's got to do something to piss Otis off, and Otis turn on him, and the Alpha Academy no more, and
Yeah.
Otis back to being the blue collar solid. Yeah, okay, I can't do it like you can, but
Yeah.
there we go.
I don't practice that. I don't know if that's a Wisconsin thing. Otis,
I
obviously
was
from
thinking
Wisconsin,
that
but
too.
I mean, I know you guys can all picture me sitting in the mirror getting ready for the morning. All right, Meathead. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't happen. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens get their WrestleMania rematch right away on SmackDown, and Kevin Owens wins by countout. Sami Zayn left the ring. Your thoughts?
Ah, we've seen the two of them go at it numerous times, and the match put together at WrestleMania was, okay, nice refresher that they've got great in ring chemistry, obviously being friends all these years and facing each other numerous times. But I was hoping that would have gotten squashed at Mania.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn didn't have his documentary crew anymore. I know, like, it's done, but if he's still feeling this conspiracy against him or that he keeps getting screwed, I feel like they should still be with him, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe
And then
for
him,
season 2.
perhaps we still didn't actually get to see
Right.
the actual documentary, just that preview, which was stellar. But
It
um,
was.
if you're gonna bring it to Backlash, sure, but I want it to end there.
Yeah. It's like going on with the Rey Mysterio Rollins,
Oh
and
yeah,
the
my
Mysterio
favorite.
family. The SmackDown Tag Team Champions threw Bianca Belair a coming out party or celebration party, and then the Street Profits finally got their match for the titles against the Dirty Dogs. Dirty Dogs retain the Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, they did pull a fast one with that quick tag that Montez didn't see, so proving their dirty ways, the Dirty Dogs. But I I like Rude and Ziggler, but I wish they would just. I mean, they're giving them more TV time, sure, steadily, but
Yeah.
again, they didn't get a match directly at Mania, and I want them as the champions to have more camera time, more mic time. Street Profits got more time than the actual champions did, really. So I thought maybe Street Profits may have gotten the titles back, but
I mean,
instead,
even Dolph Ziggler started poking at Bianca Belair because he had that
yeah,
braid tied in his
yeah.
hair.
So I guess I could see this feud still going into Backlash, perhaps. But
Possibly.
or is Backlash going to be a Raw pay-per-view?
No. There's no such thing. I
Oh,
mean,
okay,
teams
gotcha.
matches are matches. It doesn't matter.
All right.
I've mentioned this a few times, and I'm going to mention it again. Natalya defeats Shayna Baszler. The women's tag team champions for both brands, the Raw and SmackDown brand, are pretty weak right now. They win the one match where it comes to defending your title, but singles and build wise, they lose every time. I don't
Yeah,
believe them as a sustainable team anymore.
yeah. I guess I didn't think too or look too much into that, but you bring up a great point that does now highlight a weakness as champions that they. I mean, I know they're a tag team, and if they win as a team and retain the belts, absolutely. I mean, obviously that's great, but
Yeah,
losing the singles matches, and I still find it funny that they even have them do the singles matches. If they're going to be this tag team, let's keep them in
right,
strictly tag team matches.
right. All right. Cesaro throughout the night was featured with his UFO, unidentified flying opponent, which is what it stands for. Cesaro defeats Jey Uso by disqualification due to interference from Seth Rollins. Apparently, he's not done with Cesaro.
Yes, so it's kind of interesting how we got teased of perhaps Cesaro Reigns, but then we got Cesaro Uso, but Seth Rollins is not done. So now that I think about it, I mean, retract myself here. It's gonna be Cesaro and Rollins, I feel, for the next pay-per-view. I mean, but
Yeah.
there is still time though to build up something. You know how you had mentioned earlier says that the build for Cesaro are going to go all the way to SummerSlam, and that's
Mhm.
kind of where I see it going. I feel like he could get this huge marquee match at SummerSlam if they keep this train going on him. Not the Strowman Express, but just this.
Right. Can they make him white hot, as the person who could take down the tribal chief?
Yeah, possibly.
The creative has it in them because look at how low Lashley got knocked down even after losing to Drew McIntyre, and now look at
Yes.
Lashley, right?
Great comparison. Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's talk real quick about somebody that debuted also at WrestleMania and now was introduced to us on SmackDown on Friday night. It is Commander Aziz, and he will be with Apollo Crews. Really, to me, that looks like the Shawn Michaels to, the Kevin Nash or the Big Daddy Cool. So
Two
hopefully
dudes
that
with
works.
attitudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They both look like absolute stars. And I was going to say, sorry, monsters. I couldn't think of the right word. They look like two monsters that can dominate. And, we got the size alone of Aziz
Yeah.
and his move. What was it called again? The
Death Nail.
Yeah. And then them showing that clip of him doing that to Big E at WrestleMania just kind of refreshed our minds, if you will, of just how devastating that move could be.
Yep.
So I can see Apollo finally getting more of a reception from our audience as this monster heel. And now with Aziz behind us, I can see them rolling along with that title for a very long time. Which is funny because I was thinking it was Big E that was going to be the IC champ for a while, but
right
now the role is reversed.
It is. Let's talk about Raw tonight. Not much known except for it looks like Drew McIntyre's got some work to do because not only did he not, uh, retain at WrestleMania, now he's got Bobby Lashley with a couple partners helping him out. T-Bar and Mace, formerly or possibly currently of Retribution, working with the Hurt Business.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just ironic because rewind ourselves to just over a year ago where it was the Hurt Business trying to take down Retribution to
right.
begin with, and now looks like
right, they were the
aligned
hired
together.
hands. They were the APA for that moment.
Yeah, and as heels, they kind of became faces to save the WWE at that time. So I find it interesting, but I do like it just because the Hurt Business was no longer the Hurt Business that we grew to love. Perhaps as a way to get some love on.
And are they Retribution if they don't have Mustafa Ali?
Right, and where's Slapjack? And
where's Slapnuts? Yeah, I mean Slapjack.
Yes, and Mia Yim, I can't think of her Retribution name, but
I think her name was Reckoning.
Yes. So,
but T-Bar and Mace, otherwise known as Dio Madden and Dominic Dijakovic. Dio Madden, was a Raw commentator, color commentator for a while until he stepped up to Brock Lesnar and got taken off the TV.
Yeah, they've got the size, and I don't foresee it being still the Hurt Business, but I definitely see them being their, allies.
Well, I mean, if they become this new tag team that works with Lashley and MVP, maybe the rest of Retribution become the butthurt business because they're not getting the chances on TV that they are. See, there was a joke in there.
Yes. Wasn't that what New Day said to them before too? I think in one of
yeah. It's an easy one. I mean, you honestly can't let that one lay. I mean, it's a great one. So there'll be more coming up. Obviously, we're going to see probably the women's champion Rhea Ripley. Well, we should see more of Damian Priest. I want more of Alexa Bliss and her new friend.
Oh, and, yeah.
Much
Charlotte too. I mean,
yeah, much more.
Charlotte and Asuka are going to be fighting.
Yeah, well, hopefully Charlotte doesn't knock out any of her teeth as well. So, all right, that is it. Tomorrow morning, Linda and myself, we were going to look over A&E's Wrestling Sunday. They had a documentary on Stone Cold Steve Austin and a new show that I think is huge and has amazing potential. It's called WWE's Hidden Treasures, where Sunday's episode was Mick Foley trying to reclaim from collectors 3 different pieces of his iconic career. So looking forward to talking about that tomorrow morning. So for Linda Kay, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.